I hope you're doing good. Today, in our class, in our lecture, in business research method, it's especially this course is for BBS, Bachelor's of Business Studies, fourth year, but this is useful for all researchers. So, all like research students or research or whatever. So, today we will be talking about chapter 2, that is all about the literature search. If you'll have any questions, any queries, then please just drop me a email. What is literature review that we have already talked about, right, in our previous chapter? Literature search, literature review, locating the literature or locating the literature, whatever form it is called, it's all about to search for the reference of any research that we're going to conduct. Okay, because there are certain researches that have already uh, taken place in the similar field that we're going to research in, right? So it is really important to understand literature search is all about getting references for our research activity, which would help us to frame our uh, perspective, the concepts, and then it will help us to identify the problems, and then it helps us to uh, the pattern of the writings and many more. Okay, so how to write the literature review then, right? How doesn't mean we are not going to work out upon the uh, grammatical and punctuation things. We're going to take the idea, okay, how to write the procedure, how do we cast the reviewed information, okay. Introduce the literature review by priority out the major research topic that you will be discussed. Get introduced, okay, and give introduction. Just introduce it whenever you write the literature review, because you need to give the reference of the developer of the concept. Literature is also belong to someone else's idea, right? So whenever we uh, take a reference from someone else's idea, then it's our responsibility that we are going to introduce the literatures. Okay, whatever topic you are going to include in your research, let's say you are going to uh, conduct research in regard the customer's satisfaction towards a particular financial institution. Okay, what sort of things, like you're talking about the satisfaction level, right? It means you are going to deal with someone's emotion. Maybe some psychological theory may be applied, right? Some qualitative things, some quantitative things as well. How many people, among how many people, right, give the positive and negative thing responses. Then we need to find some statistical theories, maybe, as our literature review, literature reference, right? So, what are the topics that we're going to include? If we're talking about the satisfaction, then what are the parameters that we measure the satisfaction level? So, there are multiple ways. Which ways that we're going to explore, that is our theme for our research, that is the research topic. Okay. And it is also helpful for not only for the research topic, it's also for the thematic topics as well. Okay. We have multiple sections within our discussion. Okay. We will develop some themes. Let's say satisfaction, service delivery, right? That might be one point. Interest rate, that can be another point. There are multiple themes, topics. Okay. Identify the broad problem area, but don't be too global. Whenever you search the literature, you need to try to figure in broader extent, but not beyond the uh, relativity. Okay. If we are going to conduct a research in multiple banking practices in global scale, and then what we do is we go regional base, right? Asian continent, European continent, African continent, right? Wherever there are the civilization or human society, there are the banks, right? Whenever the economic activities occurs, there is the bank. We take some samples. So don't go too global. Don't try to cast each and everything from the research, that it gets messed up, right? So identify the broad problems. Broad problems. Is customer satisfaction an issue for a bank, or forgery, banking forgery issues, the banking loot issues, or banking like law related issues, policy related issues are more serious? Whenever we go to the policy level, it goes really huge topic. Again, we need to cut it down. So try to get a broad thing which has high significance for that particular institution or context where we are going to research in. Okay. It has to be broadly explored, but always we need to set the limitation. Discussing the history of education when the topic is on a specific instructional strategy. This is the meaning of identify the broad problem area, but don't be too global, right? Discussing about the history of education when the topic is on specific instructional strategy. That means you are planning for a particular topic inside your classroom. How do you teach? How do you teach this particular thing, particular topic? That is the specific instructional strategy in which pattern you are going to deliver your lesson. And is talking about history of education, right? So these are the guidelines that a literature review provides. What is our limitations? Because whenever we have someone else's document, and then we can take reference. Okay. Discuss the general importance of your topic for those in your field. What are the importance of your discussed topic in relation to your field work? Why we are going to do the field work? Okay. Why it is important and why it is significant. If you have gone through multiple relative literatures, but they are not that significant to your topic, and then that is waste. But learning is not waste, but for that particular time period when you were supposed to uh, focus in something else, your focus goes in something else, to explore in something else. Okay. So literature review helps us to determine all these things. It guides and it limits. Okay. There are multiple ways of searching the literature. Okay. One is keyword search to find typically relevant information for digital from the digital libraries, database, or the internet. Good in most cases because most of the information are in Google these days. Connecting it into your life, connecting it into the real society is the researcher's responsibility. Okay. Everything, but we need to be very tactful to locate the information. Okay. If you want the scholarly papers, academic papers, very wonderfully written papers, then you may go for Google Scholar, right? Highly recommendable books are there. Searching the keywords, how to find the keywords means if you are doing the research on customer satisfaction, and then you would search for the words customer satisfaction in the literature, or you may go for consumer satisfaction because for sometimes that these things may come, and then uh, how the individual's attitude and satisfaction is related to each other, right? Then we may go for attitude and satisfaction, right? This is the way that we locate our keywords. Chaining. Chain means connected, right? Connected in this way, one after another. They are connected, they are tied to each other. That means tracking references and citations to find articles relevant to a topic. Good where the topic is very small. If the topic is very limited, very specific, and then we can chaining the information sources, right? We go into one article related to customer satisfaction, and then we go to the reference of that particular write-ups, right? And then I could find some reference in there which I may see very relevant, and then I chose that one connected to each other. Okay, that is the way of chaining. This is another technique. Browsing to shift through collections of potentially relevant text. Good where there are many relevant books, articles, but only a few can be selected. Browsing is also used for the internet searching engine as well. Okay, browser. Okay, browsing means to shift from to collections of potential relevant text. We can just browse the informations. Okay, browsing means exploring. If we type www, that is World Wide Web, and then we specify where to go, www.facebook.com, we want to go to the Facebook. This is browsing. Okay, browsing among the among the collections, because all the information that we browse in internet, they are stored somewhere, that is the collection. Okay, that's why browsing is the another technique for the literature search. Then why we do the literature review then? To establish connection or relationship between existing knowledge and the problem to be solved. Right? That means why we go for the literature search, I have repeated many times and I repeat again because this is the real concept of literature review. So, to establish connection or relationship between existing knowledge and the problem to be solved. Existing means somebody has done the research and then they have provided some findings. And then, is it relevant to do the research in this similar field? And how much knowledge that is already existed in that particular field? How many researches have been made, have been done in field of customer satisfaction, right? And then we decide whether to do the research or not. Sometimes our research topic, they go like changed along the way whenever we do the research work or literature review. So people say select the topic at very first, right? But I recommend people just don't think of the topic before you go for all these procedures. where literature review is also a part. Okay, it may twist your way of thinking. It may change your way of perspectives. Your it change your mindset. It leads you somewhere, right? So it's better if you finalize your topic at the end of your research project. Yeah. That would give more reflective kind of topic. Okay. To refine the research problems, I already told that we have seen a problem like in our thought, but whenever we go through the literature and then these things were already solved, there is no problem anymore, right? But as researcher, mm, there must be at least knowledge regarding the topic that they're going to research in. Okay, and then to identify significance of research, whether it is good to do the research or not, to define research question. Okay, everything is shaped to delimit and define his problems, right? His or her or researcher's problem. Okay, to up to date the knowledge, to get the up to date knowledge regarding the topic that we're going to work on, and then to valid unintentional duplications of well established findings, to avoid unintentional duplication. Okay, sometimes we want to repeat the similar finding if that is relevant and then that is still not solved in that particular sector. Okay, in this context, we can intentionally duplicate the finding if we find the similar thing again. Okay, these are the things you may go through. It helps to know how your study adds to existing literature. There is existing knowledge, existing information regarding one topic, and then you are going to aid into that knowledge. Okay, these are the purposes or importance or significance of doing literature review. Okay, then what is theoretical framework? Once the research questions have been stated, then one is ready to develop a theoretical framework of their research. It is after we set the research questions, then we start to develop a theoretical framework. Which theories we are going to apply for this particular research? What are the belief systems that we will have? Okay. While developing our theoretical framework, we basically theorize on the basis of our belief that how are certain phenomena are related, right? The two phenomena are related. Let's say we are always sticking on the customer satisfaction concept, right? So let's take the similar example. Let's say a, a customer service and customer satisfaction are highly related to each other. That is our belief. And then what we what we choose is to ensure we are insured, but we are going to look at the extent, in what extent the things are related. But we have the belief that the two things are really related to each other. Two phenomena. They are customer service and customer satisfaction. Clear? We start to uh, identify or to ensure the theories that are based upon our belief that these things are related, these phenomena are related. And then we start to collect the related literature related to those phenomena that we are going to look at or research. Okay. So theoretical framework is a representative of our beliefs on how certain phenomena or variables or concepts are related to each other, and an explanation of why we believe that these are associated with each other. That is simply the theory. Importance of theoretical framework. The theoretical framework guides the kinds of data to be collected, what sort of information that we need for that particular research. Either we need interview data or we need observation data, whatever data we need, theoretical framework guides us. Simon and Gauss, 2011, as well as Maxwell, 2004, there the literatures that average that theoretical frameworks deepen the essence of the study, the intensity of the importance of the need of that study. Okay? It convinces readers that the study is not based on the personal instincts of the researcher, but rather on the established theory gathered via credible studies. Information gathered from the credible sources. The theories, the established theory, which are already proven, this problem will be, or the issue will be solved, or problem will be a, let's say, addressed through this established theory. Okay, so people would get convinced. The readers or the users of that research would be convinced in this case if we follow the theoretical framework. Okay, it provides the structure to define how a researcher defines his or her study philosophically. Okay, how to present your ideas, how to present your findings. Okay, in a philosophical, in a conventional manner way. Epistemology, the source of knowledge related thing, methodology related thing, right? Framework provides the guideline how to present your ideas, how to present yourself philosophically. That is more like convincing thing. And then epistemologically, that means the knowledge kind of thing, the information, the knowledge that we provide through our study. Okay, methodologically and analytically, how analytical or how critical our analysis is. Okay, theoretical framework provides a context for examining a problem that is theoretical, rational, okay? Developing hypothesis. This research have said if there is the context like this, and then this could happen. Right? So this research assumes that the context of this particular area where I'm going to research in is similar to this particular context that has been provided in this research as this like this. So there is this problem, there is this problem in existence. So this is the hypothesis that we develop. Pre-assumption regarding something. It is on the basis of theory. Okay. A frame of reference based for observation, definition of concepts, research design, interpretations, and generalizations. Serves as a guide to systematically identify logical, precisely defined relationship among variables. These are the importance of theoretical framework. Okay. These are differences. If you wish to, you can go through. Just pause it and then you can go through. Okay. Relationship between theory and research. Right. Theory allows the researchers to make links between abstract and the concrete. Right. These are the things like, but these two things always comes simultaneously. Okay. Without theory, the research is not possible. So both are really interrelated to each other. Okay. And then in next session, we will be discussing about the structure, and then we will develop one a, a framework, and we do some uh, we synthesize some idea related to the literature search. Okay. Thank you for being with me and listening to me. If you all have any questions, please don't hesitate to write in this email address.